Give silence to your antagonizer as punishment for thinking they're smart enough to try you. There's some smart people in this world, and then there are some people who think they're smart. And that's a good thing to think that you're smart. But when you use your smarts incorrectly to think that you're smarter than someone who you could possibly come up against, that shows that you need to properly use your intelligence, and you're improperly using it by trying to create an issue between yourself and another person. When someone is trying to create an issue between you and them, that's called antagonizing. So if this person seems nice, if this person seems caring, if this person seems like they've got your back or they're friendly, but you notice something between you and them that is antagonizing, a certain repetitive behavior that others may not seem to be aware that they're doing, or that they may not know that they're up to, well, that's a manipulation tactic, because if it's something that is repeatedly happening to cause you to be upset, then that is a strategically planned fight implemented against you to try and cause an issue, try to make you not like them, try to make you mad. They have, over the years, learned how to control how they feel. Drew, how are they so mad yet so calm and peaceful? Early on, from always being this way, they've learned how to control it. So that's why they fight covertly, because they need to have a way of maintaining their image. If people were able to easily see and detect what they were doing to you, they would be viewed as not so good of a person. But because what they're doing is hard to detect, and basically you can't really tell what's going on, a person can't easily see it. It appears to be someone doing nothing, but to the person they're doing it to, it's like they're doing everything to them, because it's bothering them and it's getting on their nerves. So you're going to have to not let things get on your nerves, and forgive yourself when things do get on your nerves, because that's a personal letdown. To react, to feel some type of way, to have someone have the ability to control you or have power over you or to push your buttons, that's a letdown. That's a personal letdown. So forgive yourself for allowing someone to get on your nerve. And you'll realize that I can deal with me. I don't have to deal with those who try to cause me trouble. I can deal with me. So give silence to your antagonizers as punishment. It hurts to be ignored. Punish those who try to bring you trouble. Punish them with your lack of absence. Make them suffer and not be able to deal with you or enjoy your presence because of the attitude that they try to secretly have towards you. I don't know if they want us to be mad at ourselves, because that's pretty much what happens when you react. You end up mad at yourself over and punish yourself for something that someone has done to you. So rather than punish yourself and frustrate yourself, just give the person who's trying to antagonize you and frustrate you complete silence. Violence and silence rhyme because they have a lot in common, more than you think. When you're silent, it's viewed as you could possibly be violent, number one. And number two, silence just cuts. Ignoring cuts people. It hurts people. It cuts them deep. All right. Here you're dealing with, basically, this is like, and this is why it's abuse. Here you have the type of person who would beat the crap out of a puppy and still feed the puppy, expect the puppy to not run away, stay, and low key take care of it just to keep it alive. That would confuse a person. Well, I'm taken care of, but I'm getting the legit crap beat out of me. But I'm taken care of. I'm fed, clothed, housed, but this owner is pummeling me and just tearing me up. And I'm not talking about reprimanding. Uh I'm not talking about disciplining your child or anything. Not talking about nothing like that. All right. So, discipline is needed. Sometimes you need to get your behind whooped. All right. So that way you can know right from wrong. All right. But as far as like the situation where we're talking about abuse, where a person is beating the crap out of an animal, take care of that animal, feeding that animal, here's your meal. Boom. I just washed you. Boom. Just took you to the vet. Boom. That's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, but an extreme case. All right. There are people who do that and expect you to entertain them and continue to deal with them normally. But it's like a person who views you as a pet, because only a person who views someone as a pet is going to want to have that type of trauma bond relationship with you. Crap on you, beat on you, abuse you, and think you gonna stay. But they have tactics to try to make you stay, to manipulate you to make you stay. People say, "Oh, it's just I would have just left, or I would have just this." It is that easy in some cases, but in some cases it's not, because the person is not aware of what is happening to them. They understand that something is wrong physically, but it's something to where they're not able to make the connection. All right. If a person is getting hands and feet put on them, yeah, it's real easy to make a connection. Oh man, this doesn't feel good, I'm leaving. But when it's mental, or if it's covert and you're unable to tell, and you can't quite put your finger on it, and you're confused because you're being gaslit about trying to figure out why things are the way they are, why you may be confused about certain things, how come you feel bad after certain interactions with certain individuals, whether it be relationship, family member, neighbor, anyone that may have this behavior towards you. Give silence to them, because they don't deserve your reaction. They don't deserve your response. They don't deserve your frustration, your anger. These are things that make them feel powerful and strong. This is what that supply stuff is about. You're feeding their ego. You're giving them the self-aggrandizement that they're looking for. When you feed into the antagonization tactic, it's just a tactic. Poke the bear, F with you, and wait for you to give them the response, the reaction that they're looking for. Instead, give them silence. Shh. Give them silence. When people test you, when people play with you, when someone has something negative to say, when somebody's being out of pocket, somebody is doing something that they think is funny and you don't. You may have that one neighbor, every time you walk outside and you gotta go take care of something, they say something to you about it. Oh, did you get your car fixed yet? Oh, did you do this yet? Oh, did you do this? Knowing that, it may not have been done yet, or they all up in your business and they know it's something that you can't do yet, or whatever it may be. Those are just maybe some of my experiences, but people will pay attention to you to the point to where they know something about you, to where they'll try to hit you where it hurts and say something to try and get on your nerves, because they want some type of reaction out of you. These are the people who, are monitoring spirits that watch you to no avail, that try to figure out certain things about you that they can use to their advantage against you as a leg up for them, as an easy way to try to make them feel better about their life when they have to look at someone like you, or see someone, or live around, or be around a person like yourself. So anybody that antagonizes you, it's not worth the fight. It's not worth the argument. Don't get into it with them. Keep your peace. and just be quiet. Don't even say a word to them. Don't talk to them. There are certain situations that don't require you to open your mouth. There are certain situations that don't require you to open your mouth. We don't have to respond to everything. We don't have to talk all the time. We can keep our mouths shut and just go off and just continue on with our life and go back to enjoying our day. Things fade away. That's what you have to understand. Somebody may say something, someone may do something that may ruffle your feathers a little bit. It may stir up the pot a little bit. It may raise the temperature in the room a little bit. It may make things uncomfortable. But again, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Swallow your pride in instances where it's where you should. Don't let anybody take a shit on you. All right, don't let anyone disrespect you. But for the little petty things that are eventually just going to add up to one big thing, look past those things. Somebody steps on your shoe, you don't shoot them in the head. You forgive them, keep it moving, and say, you know what? God's about to bless me with 4 new pairs. That's you do with your mind what you want. You use your imagination and you communicate to God. He'll hook you up. Oh, they stepped on your shoe. Here's a whole store full of them. Thank you for not killing this fool. That's how God works. He don't want you to kill your brother. He got a whole store full of shoes for you. Just for not up and putting a hot one in your brother. You know what? I ain't gonna do that. It's just a shoe. Give silence to your antagonizers as punishment. You know what? I ain't gonna look at that Negro in the face no more. You know what? I ain't gonna speak to him no more. You know what? No more dapping him up. He a clown. I'm just gonna go the opposite way. I ain't even gonna go. I ain't gonna go get my stuff from the store no more. I'm gonna go to the corner store over on 2nd Street. Safer over there anyway. And it's a nice it's a nice little Boricua store over there too. And the shorty over there giving me the eye. I'm about to go to that store. That's where I want to be at. You feel me? All right. Give silence. You see how things are just better for you when you just give silence to your antagonizers and you don't feed into negativity. You just open up a whole new positive world and reality for yourself. If it's not there, your very thoughts and words will attract everything and put everything in place to create it. Your thought is God. Give silence to your antagonizers. All right. The Philistines and the Sadducees and everybody coming after trying to take over your land. All right, they're trying to knock you out the Garden of Eden. They're trying to attack you and activate the serpent in you to knock you out of heaven. Everybody got the serpent in them. Some people have chosen to rise above it and not activate it. They have chosen to deactivate it. They've chosen to deactivate their negative side and activate their positive side. So since you want to stay positive, there are some perks with that. When you open up your mind to positivity and better things, your life gets better, even though people don't want it to get that way. Yo, yeah. When you focus on what's better for you, when you focus on growth, when you focus on health and wealth and success and prosperity instead of negative people, guess what? Your life will change tremendously. Money will flow to you easily and effortlessly. The right people for the right reasons will come into your life because now there's a slot open for them because you let go of that one negative person that's been bothering you. Now your focus isn't on them. It's all on the new people who are going to come into your life and bless you. That's what you're able to do when you let go, when you forgive, and you give silence to antagonizers. Not retaliation, not I'm going to get you back, not arguments, not another slick remark, not not anything. Emotion, sigh, sucking of the teeth, which is not something you're supposed to be doing anyway. And just give them nothing. Don't give people now, nutter, nothing. If you had a container with what they thought was what they wanted in it, a fly would come out. You ain't even got to fly for them. Keep your fly to yourself. Give silence to your antagonizers as punishment. You got to punish people who try to come into your life and play with you. You got to let them know that without even saying a word, just with a look, I know what you're up to, and you're going to fail. That's another thing. That's another thing. Look at God. That's another thing. Look at God. That's another thing. That's another thing. Look at God. That's another thing. Look at God. That's another. Look at Excuse me, I'm just feeling good. Look, you can look at people who are antagonizing you, and you know what? It's certain videos that I'm about to start. I have to create a Patreon, or I have to create a members only page, because number one, I can't just be giving this information out to everybody who's not serious, especially because, I'm investing in myself to be able to acquire the information in the first place. And number two, I'm investing in myself more ways than one, financially and time wise and intellectually wise. Investing in myself in more ways than one, educating myself. So that way I could put some things together to educate some people who need help in the same areas. So, there are some things that you can do. I unfortunately will not be discussing them in this video, but if you'd like to email me and book a session with me, that's top tier information right there. Top level, we could definitely discuss that. All right, you can book a session with me, and this is well needed information. It's useful. I'm about to use some of it today. God just reminded me that I knew it. My thought just reminded me, hey, you remember, this? Yes, I do. So I'm going to be using that. All right. There are certain things that you can do. All right. So, yeah, book a session with me ASAP. And I'm also about to start diving back into certain information, certain things. And it's only going to be for the top tier, baby. It's only going to be members only. So give silence to your antagonizers. Punish people. You see people trying to punish you, flip the script on them. Oh, you think you're gonna bother me? Oh, well, guess what? I'm gonna love you, and I'm gonna confuse you and make you stress yourself out, because I ain't got nothing but love for you. I'm heavy D to my enemies. To my enemies, I am heavy D. I ain't got nothing but love for you. Even though you envy me, I'm the MVP. All right, so it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. Give silence, not violence, not retaliation. Give silence and not violence. All right, what? You already know what I'm gonna do with that. Only for specific certain situations. All right, certain situations where it's violent and the person is getting violent, and you have to protect yourself. You definitely don't just stay silent. You get loud as heck and do whatever you need to do. Look for a rod and staff to comfort you. All right. But for certain situations where it's just pettiness, repetitive pettiness. All right. The word petty is in repetitive. How about that? Petitive, petty, petitive. That's what we're going to call it. Petitive. Yep. That petitive. Uh, repetitive with the pettiness. Petitive. All right. They are repetitive with their pettiness. So give silence. Don't let pettiness throw you off. Don't let pettiness get you canceled. Don't let pettiness get you homeless. Don't let pettiness get you out your spot. Don't let pettiness get you out of a good opportunity or situation, because others may not want to see you in it or see you winning. They're going to have to see it regardless. Give silence to anybody that got a problem with you, because that's all you got to do. Give them silence. Let them feed on their own negativity, misery, and blindness. If they don't want to see the truth, if they don't want to see the light, hey, guess what? You can't mess with the truth and you can't mess with the light. And that's what you're governed. That's what your spirit is governed with. That's what you're walking with. You're walking in the spirit of light and in truth. putting God first in your life. They make every mistake in the world that they could possibly make coming up against you. They try to curse you, God's going to bless you 10 times more. All right. Give silence. You don't want to stress over a stressful situation. You want to be cool and calm and relaxed in most situations people would stress over. All right. Some of them may even grow respect. All right. But the most important thing is you'll have respect for yourself, and you'll be sure of yourself for certain situations where you're going to need to know that, hey, I can handle this. You'll be the one to know that you're already ready for the job, to handle the position. You're the one picked for the mission. All right. And there are those who cannot stand that. And it's eating them alive from the inside out. It's blowing out. It's making them lose their freaking mind that they were not selected. They're going crazy because it's you. Give them silence. All right. You have people not trying to enjoy their own movie role, but trying to stop you from acting out and playing your part in your life. Not going to happen. They can antagonize you from the morning to the afternoon, all the way till evening, all the way to the next day if they want. Give them silence. Focus on the type of person that you are. Focus on the type of person that you want to be. Focus on your values, your standards. All right. Focus on the type of person that you are to other people. You know what? I'm a good person. I'm a good person. And when you continue to tell yourself that, instead of focusing on, man, this person, I could mess them up real bad. That's not going to do anything for you. That's going to mess you. Wanting to mess someone up real bad is going to mess you up real bad. You wanting to mess someone up real bad is going to mess you up real bad. If they're low vibrational and they're petty, give them a pass. Give low vibrational petty people a pass, a silent pass. All right, you could even get a kick out of it by using one of their own strategies on them, the silent treatment. All right, they love to use that. You should love to use it too. Some of the things they use, you can use against them. Some of the things they use against you, feel free to use against them. They give you the silent treatment. You should be able to do the same thing. Silent treatment ain't hurting nobody. Silent treatment is saving lives. It's the silent treatment over the violent treatment. Better to give people the silent treatment than the violent treatment, because that's what they're forcing you to do. They're forcing you to give them the violent treatment. They're forcing you to, want to go fisticuffs, but it ain't that kind of party, because you're the one who has to stay in control of themselves. You're the one who has to stay out of trouble. They've got connections. That's why they can get away with the things that they get away with. They are connected through the wazoo. They got more connections than you got old dirty shoes. All right, they have more connections than you've worn shoes in your whole life. They are well connected. Nothing will happen to them. So you have to allow God, your connection, your only connection, to work for you in your life. Even if you got to be patient for him to work through you with somebody else. All right, so they're going to have connections. These minions are going to be connected. All right, these antagonizers are going to be connected. They're all going to have each other's back, because they all know how they act. They all know how they are. This is how there will be groups of people that have disdain for you. Whole apartment complex, you bet. A whole church, you bet. All right, give silence. You don't have to be upset over someone being upset about you. You know, it tends to be something that you take personal when someone has a problem with you. Oh, you got a problem with me? You don't like me? So what? So what? They have a problem with you. So what? They don't like you. What you have to focus on is keeping your mind on positive things when they're coming after you and trying to bring hell into your life or trying to turn your life into a living hell. You're going to have to keep your mind on something positive. And it's definitely not going to be what they're doing to you. That's going to, if all you're focused on is what others are doing to you, it's going to keep you trapped there and stuck in that until you find out a way to rearrange your thoughts and your thinking pattern to be able to accept it and to grow past it and to think past it and to see a life and a future for yourself, being able to still have a good one even within it if it continues, because there's no power outside of yourself except within your mind. Ain't no power outside of yourself except within your mind. They thought they were smart enough, and that's not a bad thing to think you're smart. But to think you're smart enough to come up against one of God's people, you could think that person is a total fool. The person coming up against you could be a total genius. Guess what? God's still gonna make them look and feel like a fool. He's gonna make them feel dumb. He's gonna make them feel incomplete, like they're missing something, like they're lacking something when it comes to you, because you're the one he selected. You're the one he chose. It's not them. It's you. Give them silence. They're going to feel some type of way because you are chosen, because you were selected, because it's you, and they know it's not them, and they feel some type of way, and you recognize that. And you have several people that ignore that and turn a blind eye to it, and you just got to deal with it and put up with it. So if it's like that, then why not just give silence? You have to put up with things just to stay somewhere. Give silence. You know what? Focus on the positive. It's all gonna work out. God bless them. Love, love, love. 7 times on your hand. Love, 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 love. Kill out all negativity. God bless them. God bless them. The presence of God in me blesses the presence of God in you. Silently say it to yourself. They don't have to know. But the one thing you have to do is make sure you don't allow people to turn up the negative energy within you, because it's really not going to be them turning it up in you. It's going to be you turning it up in you. Friends, look at people positively, even if they're out to get you. Look at a situation positively, even if it's not looking so positive and it's negative. Look at things positively, even if it look like your life is in the toilet. Look at things positively. All right. Even if even if the situation is hell, all right, give silence to the negativity. Don't focus on what's bad about the situation. Focus on what's good about the situation. You know what? This is a really good situation. You know what? I'm really in a positive situation. Keep speaking. Fake it till you make it. Put your mind on what you want, even if it's not there, present right there before you. It will be if you can think it and feel it. You'll get it. If you can think and feel positive in a negative situation, guess what? That's what you're going to have, because that's what you see. And what you see is what you get. If you see positivity, if you see heaven in the midst of hell, guess what? You have called that heaven down for you. And that's what your experience is going to be. All right, antagonizers get no love. They get all the love they can get. All right, antagonizers get all the love. All right. Love those that curse you. Bless those that hate you. All right, let God handle everything. Pray for them. Ask God to help them and heal them, and ask Him to help and heal you. Most definitely. That way, everybody can stay on the right foot, on the good foot, on the good path. Everybody can continue to do what's right. Everybody. All right, so shout out to you all watching this positive video. All right, give silence to those that come up against you. Give silence to those that may feel some type of way toward you, that have an attitude or some type of negativity against you. Be silent, be peaceful, wish them the best, focus on yourself, and continue to grow. I'll see you in the next video.